Get through the right morning every day. Every morning.
Ladies and gentlemen, Adelaide's Jody and Hazy on Nova.
As good as it gets. Front row to the Rachele show.
Jelly on the deli, eating jelly on the belly. Flying through the valley, singing Nelly with the jelly.
Please welcome to the show, Josh Rachele.
Rachele, rush in a flash.
Fresh off his birthday payday success, announcing the right month. Well done. Welcome to the studio, Josh Rachele.
Thanks, guys.
How you going? How you feeling? What's been happening this week?
We've been training flat out this week. Last night we had a training session at Adelaide Oval and we trained in the morning. So
2 sessions a day.
yeah, getting up this morning was quite a struggle.
Yeah.
2 alarms on I had.
That's that's like Hazy at the gym.
Yeah.
2 sessions each and every day.
Got to get that work in, don't you? Especially with the beach weights. You know what I mean, Josh?
Yeah.
Tries and tries and pecs, you know.
What's
all
it?
you need.
Hazy, we've been down at the club this week. It's a bit of an odd feeling down there at the moment. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, it's fair to say. Definitely Monday was a big review. We had some good, honest conversations with everyone. And then as I said yesterday, we had a really big training session. I don't know what it was, if it was just because we've been losing a couple of consecutive games, but it was very intense and everyone was going 100% last night. It was probably more like a pre-season session.
Yeah, right.
I feel like, Josh, you get a reminder, and maybe it probably hasn't happened too much in your time because you probably started right in the guts of the rebuild.
Yeah.
Where you guys, there wasn't too many expectations. But now, is this a bit of a reminder of just how important this team is in this town? I mean, there's expectations and you guys have a couple of losses. It would seem like the world's against you. Is that what it feels like?
Yeah, and especially of how we finished last year and everyone kind of had that expectation as soon as we started the season that we're going to be around the 7th, 8th, kind of sneak into the finals again. And obviously not being at that expectation this season was quite disappointing. But yeah, you do kind of feel that pressure and that external noise a lot more in this 2-team town.
I feel like there's been a lot of focus on individuals at the club and a lot of, okay, how do you rank the performance of this person and that person, which I think is a bit rich coming from the media because, you know, we don't like it when it's turned on us. How do you rank the performance of Andrew Hayes or Jody Oddie or, you know, my boss at wherever? I feel like that's been a little unfair, I have to say.
Yeah, and especially
singling people out.
Yeah, and especially when you go straight to the coaches as well, because there's an element of us that needs to take responsibility of that, because on game day, he's not out there to teach us, but show us how to kick or make the right decision. So a lot of that is on us. Especially, we got a lot of our leaders are getting pointed out and different positional changes when, if we play fine this week, for example, we beat Sydney, it kind of goes away straight away. So
yeah.
But also, sack Nick! Sack him!
Oh
and then you're like, okay, who's going to coach? Don't know.
No idea.
But the other one I love as well, which you might have seen that, so play the kids! Play the kids! Then you're like, okay, who's knocking on the door on the sample? Oh, don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't know.
And there's already so many kids playing as well, so it's like happening.
Have you been doing much to get away from footy at the moment, just to take your mind off stuff?
Yeah, I've been doing a fair bit, just my usual mucking around with my housemates. I've got a good
Define mucking around with your housemates. Is that?
It'd be an interesting house.
Yeah, wouldn't it?
So you've got Nankervis and also Saligo.
So every kind of Tuesday or Thursday, I go and I have a football commitment with the Chunga Football Club in the Hills with Mark Keane. So we go and help out the kids down there. And
that's awesome.
I came back to my house and I think I had nearly 7 or 8 of my teammates at my house.
Oh.
All the young boys. Jake had cooked pasta for everyone because we were watching Luke's Rising Star interview with AFL 360, which was quite hilarious. And we get back and Jake had cooked pasta, worst pasta ever. He had like 2 kilos of mince. It was so dry. He tried his best, poor kid, but
where was the sauce, Jake?
Yeah.
There was no sauce. It was just, I had all my sauce that I've made with everyone, with my family, and I reckon he used maybe 1 jar for about 7 people.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
But tough cooking for you though, Josh.
It is.
I feel like you would want your pasta and your sauce at the toppest, the most highest point of the shelf.
Yeah. So that was pretty funny. But if you look back on Luke's interview, he's spoken and then he was just in his crow's kit with budgies on underneath. And then as he said goodbye, guys, he's turned around to go swirl the pasta and he's just got budgies right there, which is quite hilarious.
That is absolutely brilliant. Hey, mate, just you said before that you and Mark Keane help out at Chunga. What's that from? Is that just for, I suppose, a love of football and wanting to help some of the youngsters?
Yeah, Mark's got a affiliation with some Irish guy. He's always got Irish mates he's got things with. So he contacted Mark and asked me to come along too, and we went to a couple sessions and really enjoyed it. And they're a struggling football club down there. Don't get a lot of numbers. So a couple of weeks ago, they got their first win for the season. The boys were just wrapped. But it's funny to see how they're just slowly developing each week, getting more numbers. A couple of girls are down there playing too. So it's good for the football club.
See, that's the stuff that you probably don't see, and maybe you don't see enough of, is that you and Mark are doing things like that. We've said it a couple of times now when you came out for Fridays Live at your school. Producer Emily almost had to say to you, hey, mate, you can go. So you were required to be there for about 10 minutes. You stayed for about 45 minutes. It was absolutely magnificent.
Do you like doing stuff with kids?
Yeah, it's fun. I always say when I was that age, I would have died for any AFL player to come coach my football club if he was a rookie or the number one draft pick. So to have to kind of give that experience back makes me feel really warm.
That's really nice. And it's funny how much when you give back, how good that makes you feel.
Yeah, definitely.
Hey, Josh, just a quick one. Isaac Rankin, back. Gosh, he's good.
He's amazing. Yeah, it's great to have him back even at training. He's one of my good mates, so to have him back and linking up in the forward line, I'm very excited.
Very nice. Bet you he's pumped to be back too.
Yeah, he's very pumped. He hates sitting on the sidelines, that kid.
I bet he does. Looking forward to a big upset win over the Swans. That would keep everyone away, wouldn't it?
Oh, wouldn't that?
Josh, appreciate your time, mate. We'll do it all again in a couple of weeks.
Thanks, Jones and Hazy.
Here's what you're waking up to, Adelaide.
In the news today.
Breaking news.
What's in the news today?
Your most snooze news.
All the information you need to know to smash into your day. And one of the biggest stories in the last 24 hours, Jared Hayne's been released from jail. Jared Hayne, of course, the former NRL star. So his rape convictions have been quashed for a second time. So he's heading home to his family. There's still the prospect of a fourth trial, Hazy. He's only 36. So he's only a young guy. He's been behind bars for more than a year after a jury found him guilty in 2023 of 2 counts of sexual intercourse without consent.
It's unbelievable. So I'm from the Eastern States.
Yes.
And to describe Jared Hayne at his peak, like he was, I would say, as good and as sort of rock star top shelf as Dustin Martin.
Yeah. So
do you know how we just like Dustin Martin in AFL circles is an absolute god. So Jared Hayne was at that level and had a stint over at the NFL, didn't quite make it, but still played some games.
Yeah.
It was just, this is the biggest fall from grace that I've seen possibly in Australian sport.
The biggest fall from grace.
Well, yes.
Been a few.
There's been a few.
Wayne Carey, probably one.
100%.
He was an absolute rock star until his personal life took a bit of a turn.
Yep.
Ben Cousins, you could say, but also he's really fought back and gone through recovery and is now presenting the sport over there in Perth for Channel 7.
He's on the verge. He's going to be a contestant on Dancing with the Stars.
Oh my goodness, is he?
So he's on the verge of making a big comeback. I mean, Jared Hayne from here, even it's been quashed and even if it gets cleared, it sort of seems like the damage is probably done. Do you know what I mean?
I think with these sorts of things, if you've been to jail for rape, that mud sticks, doesn't it, for the rest of your life? Yeah, it's an incredible story.
But I mean, it's been ongoing and unbelievable stuff. Huge in the Eastern States, as you can imagine.
Michael Slater.
Michael Slater.
That's a big fall
He's
from
a
grace.
really big one. That's quite a list, isn't there?
Yeah.
You could really knuckle down if you were working on SEN.
But we're not. So we're going to go to Abby in the newsroom now. Who's got a panda update?
We're going to change pace a little bit here, guys.
It's a massive change of pace, isn't it?
We are on Panda Watch today, Panda Chat, because Wong and Fooney, as Jodie likes to say, are leaving Adelaide. We'll do my own sound effects today.
So the Premier of China was here yesterday and he's gone, right, I'm taking them home.
So he's coming over this weekend. There will be an official announcement this weekend when he visits the zoo. But basically what's going to happen is Wang and Fooney came here to procreate.
That was one job.
Yes.
That was 15 years ago and they've not done that.
No.
You say my love life is slow. That's a lot slower.
Yeah.
So they are going to go back to China and we're going to get 2 new pandas.
Yes.
It's a bit exciting.
Trade them in.
Yes.
Boring. Trade in some pandas that actually want to mate with each other. Come on.
Yeah.
More of that.
This is the equivalent of a middle-aged man having a crisis and trading in his wife for his secretary who's 21 years old. This is what
but
this
they're
feels like.
both getting booted. So it's not even like it's just Fooney. They're both going.
Yeah, right.
So, new ones will come in. This apparently it'll happen around November. I have emailed the zoo because I've asked for a little bit more information. So once they email back, I'll let you know.
Here's some questions without notice, ladies, and in terms of this particular situation. So with these two, are they just not doing it at all? I know the fertility window for pandas is really, really small,
Well,
but are they just not doing it at all? Like,
she's had a couple of shadow pregnancies
Yeah.
or miscarriages. So
Yeah.
I think
okay, so that
so
actually
they're definitely trying.
there has been
There's-
times where they've done it.
Yeah, so basically, I was reading something yesterday where there's been a lot of, what's it called?
Ectopic
pregnancies and things like that. So they're doing it, but it's just not sticking.
Not working.
Oh, right.
It's not working.
Because I just wonder, is it Wong Wong's the boy?
Yes.
I just wondered in
Foodie
terms
means lucky girl.
Lucky girl. She's not lucky at all. Let's just put that out there. But Wong Wong, you just wonder whether he was doing everything the right way.
What do
if
you
he needed
mean?
some
But
education,
also,
you know what I
sorry,
mean?
it's
And I'm not the
2020
one to educate him.
It's 2024. Maybe they don't want to be parents. Maybe they don't want to have babies.
100%.
Has anyone asked them? Has anyone said, do you want to father a child? Maybe he's like, I like living the bachelor life.
How disastrous as well when you just know that they've been mating all night and you turn up into the enclosure and there's just condom wrappers everywhere. Like, Wong Wong, that is not the point of this exercise. He's like, I've just been safe, baby. It's all good.
Why do we put you on this show?
Anyway, that's your post-snooze news. That's the vital information that you need to know this morning.
I went to the Thunderbirds game on Saturday night and at halftime, as you do, just went for a little whittle in the toilet.
Yeah,
Okay?
sure.
So I was sitting in the cubicle and there was a woman next to me who obviously had taken her, I'd say, little girl to the toilet. It was very quiet in there. I mean, I'm pretty sure it was like me, her and one other person. So really quiet.
Yep.
And then next minute, I hear this little voice go, Mummy, you've got a lot of hair on your vagina.
There was no way that I could have predicted that you were going to say that. I was like, oh, where are we going with this? And then bang.
And then I could hear the mother just like awkwardly, oh, shh, darling, shh. Anyway, as it happens, we both flushed and walked out at the same time. And because at that point I had the giggles and she saw me laughing, I was like, oh, interesting toilet conversation there. She looked at me and she was so embarrassed. She was like, oh, yeah. Da-da-da. Turns out I knew the woman actually. And then we started talking about how we knew each other. But she was so mortified. And I was retelling this story to producer Em, and you had something similar with your toddler.
I did. So another Saturday too. It must happen on Saturdays. We're at swimming and I had to take him solo. So I had to get changed after swimming out of my bathers, but I also had to go to the toilet. I was like, all right, come on, Max, let's go. So he's 2.5 and he's learning to go to the toilet. So he's learning the proper names for things.
Yep.
So take my one piece off, not attractive at all, but I'm in there trying to get it done, go to the toilet and stand up, start getting dressed, and he just points and he goes, Mummy, you have a penis. And I was, in the loudest voice possible.
I knew it.
And I quickly go, no. Mummy has a vagina.
Yeah.
Boy, Daddy's got a penis.
Yeah.
No, Mummy, you have a penis. And so I'm out of there as quickly as I can, pull my stuff on, get out of there. And once again, you go out and there is another mum there with kids and she just kind of goes,
It's an awkward laugh.
I tried to correct him. It's
Well,
so embarrassing.
I got this from a really good source, actually. You took Henry to the toilet one day and he pointed to you and said, Daddy, isn't that supposed to be where your penis is?
He said, Dad, where's your penis? I was like, what are you talking about, mate? It's there. No. Vagina. Kids, am I right? They know not what they say.
I really need a chit chat.
Let's have a chit chat.
It is so time for a chit chat.
Let's go, girl. Yeah, this is where we take all those off-air conversations that we have pertaining to being a woman and we bring them on air. And then sometimes we invite Andrew Hayes to join in and give his opinion. Not very often, though.
Here if you need is my theme for this. Here if you need, ladies.
So we were having a chat about this the other day because Brad Pitt, what about this, made a confession to Jennifer Aniston about Angelina Jolie before their divorce. So this is how it all unrolled. Can you remember? So Brad and Jen met and it was beautiful and they played characters on Friends and they fell in love and there was that. I always remember that photo. I reckon they were at the baseball or something and he was behind her and had his arms around her.
such a sweet photo.
Everyone was sort of really enamoured by the love story. But then he went off and filmed Mr. and Mrs. Smith and that's when he developed feelings for Angelina. Now, according to Courtney Cox, who's obviously Jen's BFF, she came out and said, I don't think he started an affair physically, but I think he was attracted to her. There was a connection and he was honest about that with Jen. Most of the time when people are attracted to other people, they don't tell. At least he was honest about it. It was an attraction that he fought for a period of time.
No.
Okay. Oh, he's coming in hot and early.
Super aggressive, nice and early. At least he was honest about it. I just speak on behalf of the human race, don't I? Don't talk about everything that you're thinking. You know what I mean?
No, you're right, yeah.
Like, what if it's fleeting?
Well,
Here's
that's
my thing.
true.
What if it's fleeting?
Yeah.
What if it's a fleeting little stupid thing that's going on in your brain? You're like, I feel like this. And then 10 minutes later, actually, no, I don't feel like that. And like, well, you said it, now it stays with you forever.
It's a good point, because at some point in your life, you could be with someone and you're like, this person is my universe. And then maybe 5 years later, you go, oh my God, I haven't thought about him in 6 months.
Yeah.
Know what I mean? What do you think, newsreader Abby? This will be interesting, everybody.
I'm very much on the camp of no, you don't say something, because you're right. It can be a fleeting thing. You see someone and you think, oh, but the grass is always greener on the other. People say the grass is always greener on the other side, but I say it's greener where you water it. And I think when you're in a long-term relationship, you've got to, things get hard and tough. And like Hazy has spoken about, you're in the trenches and there's children and all of this. So you're not always going to have this lusty, oh my God, come here and I want to rip your clothes off with your partner. But you've got to keep falling in love, and you've got to keep doing the things that you first fell in love with them. You've got to keep doing that. You've got to keep the spark alive.
That's why. That's why she's the best. And can I just be honest here for a second, Abby? I love you.
But you're right. Your relationship changes and evolves. Sometimes you're really close with your partner, and then at those times where it's like an elastic band where you're stretching and you're not so close, that's when other people might catch your eye. It doesn't sit well to go home and say, I'm really attracted to this person, because does it do more damage?
I think it does.
It's always going to be there. Even if like, oh, by the way, that was just a random stupid thing, and it's always going to play in your head, though.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm not in a relationship, so don't take anything of what I say seriously. But that's my opinion.
This happened to my best friend. A couple of years ago. When she first started dating her partner, she went on a trip and met someone else over there. Nothing happened, nothing, no cheating, but she called me and said, oh, I think I'm quite into this person, but I've got this relationship back home. She came home and told her partner and told him and reassured him that nothing was going to happen, but felt that she needed to be honest, and they're still together years later. So
it wasn't a bit of this. Because I can imagine.
And I think it's really important to remember we're all human beings. Like, we're not essentially supposed to be monogamous, are we? Our whole lives. You're always
right out,
no,
dirty bird audio.
No.
Dirty bird alert.
No,
my grandparents were married for over 60 years.
No, but what I'm saying is you can be monogamous, but you will always be attracted to other people. That's the nature of being a human.
Yeah.
Jodes is a swinger.
That's exactly what's going on here.
Oh, Jode's keys in the bowl, Lottie.
Do you know what? I knew as well. I could have picked it, especially with Greg. 13, 24, 10. This whole situation is very, very perplexing. Admitting to your partner that you have feelings for someone else. I mean, do you tell your partner? What do you do? Have you been in this situation?
Yeah.
Tricky one.
Was it a case of I'm attracted to that person, now I'm not, jog on?
Do you tell your partner if you have feelings for someone else? We'll take your calls next. Very interesting situation. Of course, no judgment in this space. No. Maybe you've been in this situation. We'd love to hear from
What do you mean no judgment in this space? You just called me a swinger.
I'm not judging you.
Anonymous, this happened to you.
Yes, it did.
Ooh, take us through it. Take us through all the details, Anonymous.
I was in a good 5-6 year relationship with now my ex, and I came home one day and told him that I had feelings for a different guy. He didn't take it too well, and we ended up breaking up, and now a year and a half later, I'm still with the guy I had a crush with.
Wow, there you go. So this is like a genuine similar situation because...
And so are you happy that you went home and said that?
Yes,
okay.
Definitely.
Okay. I'm guessing that he wasn't very happy that you came home and said that.
Not really, no, but it was better off for the better for my mental health, but yeah.
Yeah.
So, Anonymous, can I ask, was the aim to try and work through it with your partner at the time, or was it almost like a bit of a precursor to a breakup?
Checking out.
We tried for a good couple of months to make it work.
Yep.
And I tried. He tried for a little bit, and then I went back to his same old usual stuff. And then I just went, I'm out. I've got feelings, like strong feelings for somebody else.
Yep.
And yeah, I went with my gut and trusted it.
But it sounds like you weren't that happy with the relationship to begin with.
For a good couple of years, no, but we tried everything
Yeah.
to try and make it work. And then, yeah, we kind of just went, well, I kind of just went and went with my gut with the strong feelings I had to try and make myself happy.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like Anonymous gave him a giant chance.
Yeah.
And
Huge
still didn't
opportunity.
take it.
Yep. Let's go to our second anonymous call on this one. Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, what happened with you?
I also was the one that came home and told my now ex that I had feelings for his best friend.
Whoa.
He basically said, well, I think you need to tell him and find out if there's anything there. So I did, and there wasn't. And that was kind of the end of it. And then, probably not coincidentally, we broke up a few months later, or he left me a few months later.
Yeah, so obviously, and was that, I suppose, the nucleus of the breakup, this whole situation?
Well, no, that's not the reason he used, but, looking back, this was a million years ago. Looking back, neither of us were happy anyway, which is probably why I started developing feelings for someone else.
And so talk us through that conversation with the best friend. You just sat them down and said, I've got feelings for you. Do you reciprocate?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
And what did he say?
Well, that's my best friend. I don't feel the same. I, see you as a friend. That was kind of it. That kind of squashed my feelings anyway, because it probably had nothing to do with him. It was probably more the relationship anyway.
That you're in, yeah. Oh, wow. And so do you regret making the decision to tell both of them?
No, because there was so much guilt that it was, ruining our relationship anyway. So, I think being honest was the right thing to do.
Yeah.
I wouldn't change it. It wouldn't have saved the relationship if I hadn't have said it. So, no.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you so much for your honesty. Really appreciate that.
Nice.
Let's get ready to rumble. Ladies and gentlemen, Battle of the Bangers.
Battle of the Bangers. Nice little contest where two people go head to head, and I'll tell you what, I can't even describe the hatred that comes with this.
Yeah.
The competitiveness and everything that just sees two people going so aggressively against each other that it feels like a war in the studio. Do you know what I mean, James?
There's a lot of ducks and drakes that goes on behind the scenes with selection with our songs, and we don't know. I don't know what you've chosen. You don't know what I've chosen until this moment in time.
100%.
So it's a genuine surprise when we do our reveal.
And sometimes, to be honest with you, and maybe it's happened to you, it's definitely happened to me, that I'll have my song and then I hear your song, and in my head I'm like, damn it, I wish I had your song. But I'm still going to endorse my song and try and get the win.
And that never happens in reverse, just so you know.
Oh, doesn't it? No. Well, maybe it should, because I'm leading 12-7. Yeah, that's right. It's 12-7.
We have a theme each and every week. This week it is Sweet Treat Beats. This is on the back of our great search for the best donut in South Australia. And it was National Donut Day last week, so you know what? Why not?
Yeah, good call.
You want to go first?
How about ladies first?
Why do you do it
What
every
have you
week?
got?
You go first for once.
Okay, I'll go first.
All right.
Here's a sweet treat for you. Milkshake.
I was going to do this!
What? Really? So this was your first preference, was it? There you go. Keep those feelings to yourself. In the heat of the battle, I'd keep those feelings.
Oh, see, I just wonder what goes on with the producers, because I did suggest this song and I was veered aggressively in another direction.
What do you mean?
I would like to clarify that the person that locks in their song first gets the song. So, Jodie, if you're a little bit earlier with your song choice, you may have gotten this song.
All I'll say is well said, Em. Very well said, producer Emily.
What I will say is some of us have a life and other things to worry about.
Sorry. Where were you off to yesterday? A gym class?
Yeah.
While we were still here working hard?
Pilates.
Oh, Pilates.
Pilates.
Important.
Yeah. And quite coincidentally, she was probably, instead of going Pilates, off to get a milkshake. So I've got Khalees, and you have. Go and describe your song. What have you got for us
Well,
today?
I've long said on this show there is an artist that is missing and we need to play much, much more of, and that is 50 Cent.
Oh, my God. Wow. It's a good song. It is a really, really good song. What about, do you know what? I'm not going to go into it. I'm not going to break it down. But the lyrics on paper to this song. Oh, my very goodness. How the hell did 50 Cent get away with this?
I don't know. But we do play Lunch by Billie Eilish, so here we are.
That is very true. Here we are. All right. It is Sweet Treat themed. You've got Candy Shop by 50 Cent versus Khalees Milkshake. Get your votes in at Jodie and Hazy on Instagram.
I reckon the blokes will get around 50 Cent.
Do you reckon?
Yep.
Okay. Oh, there you go. There's a play. But can we just establish that your first choice would have been Khalees?
No, yes.
You sent through about 50 choices.
I didn't. I sent through 2 and then they were poo-pooed and I was sent off in the 50 Cent direction.
Maybe start thinking about this like today for next week. So you get in a day earlier. And then you secure your song that you really wanted.
Listen, if I wanted your feedback.
That's the problem, isn't it?
I'm trying to help you here.
No, you're not trying to help me.
I am.
No, you're not. I choose a song every week and you slag it off. That's how...
Okay,
and
I
then
don't slag
under
it
all your
off.
different accounts for him.
Oh.
That's how is that trying to help me?
Pick a better song then, babes.
Yeah, there you go. Great point, Abs. All right, get voting at Jodie and Hazy, and we will announce the winning song, which will probably be mine, tomorrow at 8 o'clock.
And it is that sort of arrogance that you need to vote against.
Do you know what I am confident about, though, Jodes? And that is Nova's Handball Blitz.
Yeah.
And just the quality of the contestants that we're attracting with this thing.
We saw it. We saw the talent on display last year with Lincoln and Michael. The brothers took it out. One of them won $1,000. The other one won $500. You know who cleaned up in that situation? Mum.
Mum and Dad.
$1,500 for the family.
$1,500 kitty that night.
Yeah.
Very nice. So, yes, I mean, do yourself a favour right now. Register your details via the Nova Player. One, to hopefully get us to come out to your school and talk about handball, but also to get yourself involved to score what is the biggest trophy in the world, I would probably say.
It's bigger than the kids.
And also $1,000. I know what you're saying, Joe. You're sitting there and you're like, for goodness sake, educate me in this space when it comes to handball.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Do you want me to take you down a little journey where not just the handball history, but also what it means to South Australia and nay, the world, this beautiful sport?
I mean, do I have a choice?
No, I don't think you do. Sit down, strap yourself in and be quiet for the next 2 minutes, please.
Okay.
Okay, listen to this. Children, gather round and listen closely to your Uncle Hazy, for I have a curious tale to share with you about a marvellous game called handball. It is little known how handball became so popular. The heritage might not ever become clear, but what is clear is the profound impact this great sport has had on Adelaide, nay, the world. But let me give you a little injection of knowledge on its origins. Once upon a time in the magical streets of France in the 1950s, kids played a game called Sidewalk Square on the cracks of the pavement. It was a simple game, but oh, so much fun. But here in Australia, the legend of handball began on a special day, July 4th, 1954. An American folklorist named Dorothy visited our sunny shores, exploring primary schools to see what games kids played. And guess what? Handball was the king of them all. Fast forward to the early 2000s, while the beats of Eminem, Black Eyed Peas and Green Day wrote the soundtrack of our lives, handball was quietly uniting the country. It was the unsung hero of the playground and our hearts. Then in 2013, a true handball legend emerged from the courts of a Brisbane state school, none other than the fearless Prime Minister at the time, Kevin Rudd. His graceful moves on the handball court sparked a wildfire of passion across Australia that couldn't be contained. Handball's magic lies in the pure joy it brings, spreading smiles and laughter far and wide. So even though its origins might be a bit of a mystery, we can all appreciate the wonderful way it has touched our lives. And where does this epic tale end? Well, on July 20th at Adelaide Oval, with thousands of fans and a whopping $1,000 cash prize. So keep playing, keep smiling, and who knows, maybe you'll be the next Handball Blitz champion.
Handball Blitz. Handball Blitz.
Sometimes you hear stories, particularly stories overseas, and it just makes you go, oh my very gosh, that sounds painful. Makes you go like this.
Brother, what's that?
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I'm just going to read you the story fresh from the US, if you don't mind.
Sure.
A 63-year-old man sneezed and coughed at the same time. It happens. Well,
does it?
while eating breakfast at a US diner, only to find his colon had fallen out of his body. That's not supposed to be there. The man, who was with his wife, was at a Florida restaurant. He felt a wet sensation, after which came a sharp pain. The man had recently undergone abdominal surgery, with the doctors assuring him the incision had healed. But when he lifted up his shirt, he saw several inches of his colon coming out of his surgical wound. So, Joe, I'm going to spell it out for you. You got a cough, you got a sneeze, put them together, and then sometimes post-abdominal surgery, and then all of a sudden, you're in all sorts. Do you know what I mean? Have I painted a picture for you?
Oh, yeah, very graphically. And it feels like to me you spend a lot of time on that.
Well, you know me, particularly when it comes to medical things, I do thorough research.
Yes, you do.
The ambulance was summoned and paramedics, when they arrived, found 3-inch opening with large amounts of bowel visible.
Oh.
Luckily, the blood loss was minimal and there was no damage to the exposed organ. Once he was taken to the hospital, surgeons put his bowel back into his abdomen. They were like, what are you doing there, fella? Get back in there. Get back in there,
Get back into your home.
Get back in there, bum. 13-24-10, when's your bum falling out? 13-24-10, when is your colon craved in? When have you popped your pooper valve?
Oh, jeez.
Can you imagine? What about his poor wife as well? She's like, check please, what's happened over here? Oh, sorry. My husband's just holding his ass in his lap.
Extraordinary scenes in Mexico. So there has been another selfie death this week. And it was all caught on camera. Horrendous. So a woman trying to take a selfie as a train comes down the tracks and bang, hits her.
Woman v train.
Woman v
train. Selfie.
Who's the winner in that one ever?
Train wins every time.
So I thought I'd take a trip around the globe and just highlight some of the selfie deaths that have happened. A 32-year-old woman from North Carolina died after her vehicle crossed the median strip and burst into flames moments after posting a selfie online after she heard this song on the radio and thought she'd sing along.
Oh my gosh. That's not funny at all.
Mary mate.
Wow.
She wasn't happy. In the Philippines, a 15-year-old boy was critically wounded after accidentally shooting himself while taking a selfie when he had his other hand holding a gun to his chin. So he's got one hand holding the phone up, another hand on his chin, and bang, accidentally died.
And then boom.
In Pakistan, a 15-year-old boy was taking a selfie with a toy gun when police thought it was real and opened fire and killed him.
Oh, yeah, that's a little bit concerning.
Japanese tourist fell off a staircase to his death while taking a selfie at the Taj Mahal.
Yep.
A Chinese businessman named Jia Lijun tried to take a selfie with a 1.5-ton walrus at a zoo in Liaoning.
Walrus says no. Walrus wasn't feeling it, was he?
He's entered the enclosure and the walrus promptly attacked him. Later, they explained that the walrus thought she was just giving a hug.
Yeah.
So attacked him, has tackled him, and then taken him into the pool and drowned him, and then promptly tried to give the zookeeper a hug as well.
Wow.
While she was at it. Tackled the zookeeper, drowned the zookeeper.
Oh my gosh, the walrus went on a rampage.
All over a selfie.
Yeah, there's a message in that.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to take a selfie with a walrus, definitely show the photo that you've taken and get some feedback.
She wasn't happy.
No,
she was
not
like, that is my worst side. What are you doing?
I've asked you multiple times to stop taking photos of me. Multiple times. I've had enough.
I don't want to be involved in that death roll that Abby does when she grabs you, takes you underwater, and just spins you around.
And in one of the most high-profile deaths in Australia, your hamstring was seen taking a selfie right after you tackled someone against the Elizabeth Eagles. It's on a selfie stick too. And then bang, hamstring dead.
Bang, gone. Still hasn't recovered too, by the way.
No,
Couldn't resuscitate
R.I.P.
it. Yeah. Blown itself into 16 different bits.
It was a good photo though.
What was the message and all that? Do not take selfies, full stop.